Hey, what's going on everyone? So I'm going to be making a quick video today about the Hayden 678 CVT cooler that I have installed on my 2011 Outback. Alright, you'll want to start by removing the several clips holding your grill and the shroud and the air intake. And I think there's 10 or 12 of them. Alright, pardon all the dust and gunk and all that good stuff that's on here. I had a small leak in the hose. I didn't tighten one down all the way whenever I first installed it. I haven't got a chance to power wash it or anything, and then I took it on a trail, so it's all nice and gunked up. So I'll just kind of go over this. So I made these brackets. Hayden actually sells this, and I'll put a link for the part. And then this is the 678 cooler. There's a bolt hole underneath the bottom of the hood release assembly, and I couldn't actually get this bolt off. I've seen some other people mount it under here, but this one is either seized or held on with Loctite something. I was afraid I was going to strip out the head, so I didn't mess with it. And then I put a couple of little rubber nut protectors, thread protectors, so that way the hose doesn't, vibrate on them. And then we have the lines fed over here. Fed one through the top, put a little loom protector, that way it doesn't vibrate on anything. This is it actually comes with the main Hayden kit, the 678 kit. That just kind of hold everything in place so it doesn't vibrate around too much. And then, let's see if I can, there's actually an additional hole that I drilled in the bottom plate, and it mounts up. There's normally a little push tab right where that bolt and nut is that I fed through the bottom of the radiator support. Alright, and those lines from the front are fed over here. So this one is the factory return line. So this bottom part is coming off of the radiator already cooled, and then there's a 3/8 inch union, and that is what's feeding to the actual CVT cooler. So the next line, this is the factory pipe, and this is the return line coming off of the CVT cooler back in to the CVT. Now that means that it's technically been cooled twice, which is probably more advantageous to hotter climates. If you're in a colder climate, you may actually want to change the routing of it. Alright, so I'm by no means an expert on this. This is just something that I've put together based on what I've read from other people's threads. I didn't actually have to put any additional fluid into the system, even though it probably adds about maybe half a quart to 3/4 of a quart capacity to the overall system capacity. After probably about 100 miles, I went to break the filler bolt out whenever it was at operating temperature, which is what Subaru recommends. Whenever I broke the fill bolt open, I already had fluid coming out, which means the system was full. So you may have different results depending on when your system was last filled. These do have an actual torque converter, which means that you may not always get the same amount of fluid actually in the system depending on how loaded that torque converter is with fluid. But if you need additional help, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Like I said, by no means am I an expert on this. This is just what I've managed to put together, and it's been working well so far. For more strenuous operations, like I just went up on a run to the Bradshaw Mountains. Higher elevation here in Arizona. It's on the way up to Prescott, and it's about, I want to say it's about 6,000 foot elevation if I was reading the maps right, at the peak of where I was at. And there was a lot of up and down and almost constant up, going up in elevation. And this thing performed remarkably well. Before the CVT cooler, on our hottest days, which are 110 degrees plus, I was averaging, let's see, I believe the hottest I ever got was 220 on the CVT. And I never threw a transmission light in town for for AT oil temp. And I'm not sure what the actual range is on this, but that seems fairly high. I think that this is an excellent investment for the money. I believe I got mine for $50 for the actual cooler itself. I think the mounting kit was $10, and then I had to buy some additional hose, which you will definitely need for the kit. I wound up buying 8 feet. That was excessive. That's 3/8-inch fuel hose is what I wound up using. That way it's anti-corrosive. It's designed for, I believe, 50 psi. I don't believe this system actually puts out 50 psi on the return line. So I think that I'm well within the right range there. If you have any questions, comments, if you want to tell me I'm an idiot, please leave it in the comments down below. Thanks a lot.